watch HEETwave before anyone else? Well, there's an easy way to do that. Just back us up on Patreon at patreon.com/halfemptyetank and be the first to watch the episodes.
So, guys, let's talk about anime.
Anime.
Is that the same thing as Japanimation?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Tsunami?
What's the difference between Japanime and hentai?
Boobies. Big,
you get
boobies.
to see a nipple in one, not the other.
So is
Yes.
Akira hentai?
Yes,
Okay.
that's my favorite actually.
God, everyone's got different strokes, but that one's wild.
Different strokes.
Different strokes for
That is
different
not an
folks.
anime, though.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Maybe I can't wait for the different strokes anime.
Oh God. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have any real structure here.
You're just anime.
Talk about
Anime.
anime.
You said what's your favorite anime or like what's on the thing?
Oh, yeah, anime we love or whatever.
Yeah. What's
So,
an
Anime
you love?
we love or whatever.
I just
You're
want
really bad about you're keeping up with your titles.
Yeah.
I love you to death, but you're always like, hey, you know what?
I just want to talk about stuff without like a go. I don't know. Yeah, I'm terrible at that.
Then lead the conversation.
I'm
You can.
That's what I was going to do. So, I just want to talk about what I've been watching. I've been watching Fruits Basket. You guys are
The new one
So,
or
is there a
there's
new
an
one?
upcoming remake of it. I wasn't sure if it was out or not.
I don't know. I've been watching on Funimation. So
Does it look older?
we watched.
Nope.
Then it's the new one.
Oh,
okay.
okay. We watched. I guess the older one. It was back like in 2011,
Uh-huh.
2012, something like that. We
It's good.
watched like a part of it, and I really enjoyed it. And then we just stopped watching it for some reason, but it wasn't because we didn't like it. I don't know. It just kind of fell off.
The new one is doing the crystal route, and it's like extremely close to the manga and no fluff.
Mhm.
I have no clue what Fruit Baskets is, but I've heard
So-
about it a lot.
yeah. So
In my
I'll give you
life.
a quick
It's
synopsis.
like one of the old school ones, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that myself. But it follows a girl who is she's lost both her parents. She comes across these
It's
a classmate, and she is taken in by him, and his classmate's family they are also like the reincarnations of different Chinese zodiac animals.
So it sounded like really wholesome, slice of lifey, and then you're like, oh, and also they're
Yeah.
reincarnated.
So-
Here's the magical aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when they get hugged by a member of the opposite sex, they transform.
So it's like, okay.
And so I haven't watched all the episodes. I think about 20 in, and I think there's 25 that are done right now. But
God, I'm excited.
it alludes to potential more sinister, like yeah. It's definitely very slice of life, but it definitely delves into like some deep shit like in these characters' past, and it's
Mhm.
really intriguing. I'm really enjoying it.
So slice of life anime is my favorite anime. I'm
Okay.
just going to put that out there.
Same.
So I'm excited that I didn't know the Fruits Basket remake was out, and I'm excited to watch it because of that. The other one, the only reason why I think we ended on the other one was just because it had so much fluff in it, and I like usually fluffy anime,
Mhm.
like just whatever
Mhm.
just nonsensical like episodes, but that one just had so much,
Yeah.
and it was going nowhere for like whole season. So
Maybe. I don't really remember.
it's been a while.
I
We were
remember
watching
We've
a
had
lot
liking
of
35 Hot Springs episodes. What are we doing?
yeah. I love a great filler episode,
Yeah.
but
Well, if you want to talk about an anime that I love that has lots of fluff, we could talk about Sailor Moon because that is 200 episodes.
Mhm.
we have been watching Sailor Moon lately. We're watching
Yeah.
season 4 right now.
Yeah, we're in the middle of
And
season
it
4.
is
Of Crystal?
No,
No.
of the original, but
Oh, okay.
because of Crystal, the same company who dubbed it Viz Media, they took the original and they redubbed it with
Crystal
the
voice
same
actors.
Crystal, so like all the same voice actors
Mhm.
are in there, and it is the closest dub to the original Japanese version.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
There's
in the
no cuts.
90s, they the first 2 seasons were dubbed by a company called Deke.
Mhm.
And their job was to get this Japanese anime prepped for American audiences. And their idea was American audiences don't want anything Japanese in this Japanese cartoon. So let's try to cut all of that out and make it as westernized as possible.
Interesting.
So they even reversed like people driving on the like roads and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they reversed the footage to make them drive on like the
right
American
side of the
side.
road.
Man, that's a huge
And
weird misstep.
yeah, and they cut out as much of like the Japanese signage. Like if they're walking down a street with like signs that are in Japanese, they try to cut that out as much as possible.
Mm.
And they did a lot of weird where like the characters aren't talking, but the dub was like, that's weird. They can't just be standing there not talking. So let's put some like weird extra voice work over it, which doesn't make sense. Let's just make the characters make noises and stuff, you know? And it was just really weird their direction they went in.
Yeah.
And then there were some episodes that they didn't even dub at all. They just left out
The entire
because
fifth season.
it was well, there was even episodes like scattered throughout the seasons that maybe didn't have as much to do with the plot. It was more of like a filler.
Okay.
But they just never dubbed it, so it never came to America.
Yeah.
So this new Viz dub, they are doing all the episodes and it's as close as possible. And even like the dub, like the original dub changed their name.
Mm.
Like the main character, her name is Usagi, but instead of calling her Usagi, they called her Serena.
Mm.
And they just changed everyone's names, and it was really confusing to me as a kid to go back and forth between the sub and the dub.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited that they're doing it justice, I feel like.
Okay.
And the last season, they never came to America at all because it had a lot to do with so Sailor Moon messes around a lot with gender roles.
Yeah.
And the last season, there's these 3 warriors who are female, but they're disguised as males in their
Okay.
like superhero form. They're just
Right.
like these male idol singers. And I don't think they knew how to market that to children.
It was hard
They
to
weren't
deal with.
comfortable in the 90s with that, so they just completely like took that out.
Yeah.
Then they have Sailor Saturn and Uranus as cousins.
Or Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus.
Or,
Yeah,
yeah.
so they're lesbian
Cousins.
lovers, and to fix that, they were like, they're cousins. They're
They're just
really
very
close
Yeah.
cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And that
They're
was
just really good friends.
that was way weirder than just being like
Yeah.
they're in a romantic relationship because it's not over the top, you know.
Yeah.
It's just
Mhm.
like sometimes they hold hands and they get really close to kissing, but they're not quite kissing.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, they're cousins. Don't you do that with your cousin? Don't you hold their hand and get really close to their face and like
Never.
gaze into their eyes?
Nope.
And it's like that's way weirder than if it was just like they're like girlfriend and girlfriend, you know?
I will say the new dub of Sailor Moon is the absolute best version of any Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm.
The season 4 used to be one of my least favorite seasons, and we're watching through season 4 right now on the new dub, and it has become my absolute favorite.
Mm-hmm.
They've completely
It's
retransformed the whole
fucking
thing.
silly. Like I just love it. It's just so silly and like
Yeah.
fun to watch.
It's like every good filler episode. That's every episode.
yeah, if you're watching it for a serious story, you're not gonna get that.
Yeah.
But if you're watching it for like fun, like think of the Dragon Ball Z episode where they go and get their license. It's like every fucking episode is like over the top like that. It's
Yeah.
just really funny.
Well, it's interesting to compare that. So one of my favorite animes of all time is Cowboy Bebop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like the canonical version of Cowboy Bebop is actually the American dub.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Because like I guess the Japanese voice actor that they got to do Spike didn't nail the tone the way that they wanted, but like Cowboy Bebop is one of the few animes where it's like this dub is the official version. Or like this is the version that everybody actually wants. It's not one of those where like nobody goes like, oh, I only like the subbed version.
Yeah.
There's very few instances where the dub is the
Right.
preferred version. That being said, I generally prefer dubs in
Yeah.
general because I don't want to.
Read
I want
the
to.
entire
I'm usually
dub?
doing 3 things at once.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Cowboy Bebop was the beginning of people actually appreciating dubs at all.
Yeah. Well, it was also when voice acting started to become more prevalent, more important.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy Bebop is an amazing anime anyway.
It's
too,
my-
on top
it's-
of that.
Yeah.
I
it's
still
great.
need to watch it. I
Ju-
bought it. So
What?
I know.
Not just in tone, but just in style.
Yeah.
Like that anime oozes style.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's so great. Like
Great
I don't,
soundtrack by Yoko Kanno. Just really phenomenal art. Really good.
So I have
Wordy rights.
2 different periods of anime.
Yeah.
I have anime when I graduated from high school and anime recently that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And there was like this dark period where I didn't really watch anime. And I just kind of got out of the loop, and I was just like, well,
Yeah.
I guess I'm too not too old for this, but I had other concerns.
Thankfully,
at the time.
Brittany came into your life.
Actually,
And I was like, let's go outside.
Let's go outside
let's
or
go to
stay
the-
inside and watch hentai.
Let's go to the park.
we got a
or-
story about that too, actually, because
Do we?
I took you to your first anime convention,
Yeah, that's true.
and that was a whole nother thing. But so my favorite ones from when I first started watching anime are, of course, like Dragon Ball Z, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop. I watched a lot of those more like male-centric, crazy animes and
Yeah.
whatnot. But the second time I got into like more slice of life.
Yeah.
My favorite anime of all time is Azumanga Daioh. Azumanga Daioh is 26 episodes of about a bunch of schoolgirls becoming themselves
Mm.
and just realizing that. There's a lot of silliness and whatnot, but there's a tiny touch of just like magical stuff, but it's also like played off as like this is just like their
This was a
imagination.
dream or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like unrealistic, you know.
Right.
But it just follows these girls as their path through high school. There's not much of a
plot,
character
really.
arc or anything like
Just
that.
Yeah.
kind of like every day is like, we're having like field and track day or
Yeah,
sports
yeah,
day or
yeah.
whatever. So this is the thing they're doing today.
There's
or-
the main thing is that you see people who don't know each other become friends, build their friendship, and that you can tell that that's at the end of the series. Oh, these people are now lifelong friends.
That sounds like some wholesome shit.
It's
Yeah.
really amazing, and like at first it doesn't feel like wholesome shit.
Mm.
It feels like almost like American cartoony almost.
Yeah.
But it just adds and adds and adds, and it just became like one of my favorite things. But the other anime that is my favorite was from my prior experiences. That is the Rurouni Kenshin OVA,
Mm.
which are
I've never watched that.
So I don't much care for the series,
Yeah.
and I don't much care for the movie Samurai X.
Okay.
But there's two OVAs. There's one before he committed to Kenshin is about a samurai who has a reverse blade because he is committed to not killing people.
Mhm.
The first OVA is why he's committed to that.
Yeah.
He does not have a reverse blade.
Yeah.
The other OVA is after the series, and it is him. You have a friend that looks like,
Venus.
and the other series is the end of his life.
Hmm.
And both of them are very serious. There's not much fun, but they're beautiful. They're just amazing movies.
Yeah.
And I just if they're probably like my more serious animes that I prefer, and I go back and forth between like the ultra serious, no fun but beautiful storytelling
Mm.
to slapdash, wholesome. I could watch this every day, kind of like popcorn anime.
Yeah.
That's generally the two areas I span.
I've become more of a fan of slice of lifey shit. I historically that wasn't what I looked for out of an anime.
Okay.
I wanted spaceships or giant robots.
Yeah.
I wanted cool.
Still love him Big O. I got really
Yeah.
into that.
Big O was I was more Gundam Wing than Big O.
See, I've always wanted to try. I've never
Yeah.
sat down and committed to watching Gundam.
Well,
Try Gundam Wing.
But my thing with Gundam Wing was that I don't think I've ever successfully watched it in order.
Yeah, me neither. I've seen
Um,
episodes.
I just remember like Toonami.
Mhm.
Oh, this episode's on. Oh, that's cool and interesting. Man, that guy sure is whiny.
That
And
sounds like anime.
I kind of had the same problem with Big O, where it required more thinky and more understanding of where the story was and what was going on.
You couldn't watch it like anime. You couldn't watch it like American animation, where one show was all
Right,
one episode.
right. So I never got traction with Big O, but I like the art. It's super pretty.
For me, that was probably my first Toonami show that wasn't DBZ that I kept up with.
Mm.
I got so I saw an article about an anime called Unahara, and it is it's a very serious slice of life sort of. It deals with loss, so it deals with the passing of so there's this group of friends. One of the girls in the group passes, and then a few years later, one of the guys in the group sees her ghost. So her spirit is still like in this world.
Yeah.
And then it goes through and it deals with all the it follows every other member of the group since her passing and how they're dealing with their loss, and they're all dealing with it in various ways. Some of them, well, most of them, not very well. I thought it's really touching and it's a really good, moving. I definitely recommend it.
You're gonna have to,
I had me bawling like
you're gonna
at
have
the
to
end.
send that to me. That sounds
Yeah,
pretty
that
good.
sounds really good.
Yeah. And real quick, I want to also mention like how much I love that anime is being shown in U.S.
Yeah.
theaters
Yeah.
now. Like I just watched like Weathering with You, which is the it's not a follow up, but the
The next movie,
director that made Your Name.
Mhm.
It's his next work. I really enjoyed that. The next My Hero Academia movie's coming out, I believe, this
I've been
month.
keeping up. That's the newest anime I've been keeping up with because I'm really bad about shonen style.
Are you caught
Yeah.
up with it?
I'm not caught up with the show. I'm caught up into. I haven't watched any of the most recent.
Oh, okay. It's really good.
The thing that I've been watching and enjoying is Demon Slayer.
So
I've been
that's
meaning to
a
see
classic.
that.
That is something that kind of started me down the anime road. Are you talking? Wait a minute.
No,
I'm
no,
thinking,
you're thinking of Demon Slayer's a new one.
Yeah.
Oh, then never mind.
You're thinking of Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Demon Slayer is just fucking beautiful, and it's
Don't know what this is.
I need to catch up on the newer stuff. I feel like I'm behind.
We had a time where we caught up on some newer stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we kind of like binge watched, and we were going back and forth taking turns. Of, like I'm gonna pick out the next watch.
Yeah.
And we were able to get through a couple of our favorites.
Dragon Maid.
Dragon Maid.
That was really good.
Wolf's Rain we
Mhm.
watched, which was really depressing but really good. Watch it maybe like once. And try like be in a happy mood when you watch it because it's gonna bring you down.
It is the most depressing anime I've
Don't
ever
watch
watched.
it if you're already depressed.
Because we try to out depress each other. She introduced Wolf's Rain to me, and
Yeah.
I introduced her to Neon Genesis Evangelion.
which was one of my favorites, and I didn't think it was that depressing.
Well, it
Wolf's
wasn't
Rain.
compared to Wolf's Rain.
yeah.
And Kaijo was a really fun one.
Kaijo is amazing. That's the butt one.
Yeah.
The butt fighting
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, they try to push. They try to.
I
Push,
love where you were going
They try
there.
to push each other off of these like floating platforms, like in a pool,
Mhm.
and they can only use their boobs or butts to push each other off. And it's super
sounds
like I'm gonna
sexy.
use this technique, and it's like their butt cheeks are like.
It becomes-
like it's super
It
stupid.
becomes the best sports anime I've ever seen.
Really?
With the exception of
Yuri on Ice.
Yuri on Ice.
Yeah.
Yuri on Ice was amazing.
At first, we were like, I don't know if I
Like,
like this.
Yeah, the first three
And
episodes.
like a couple episodes in, we were like, I don't know, and then it got good. We were like, okay, I'm in. I'm
well,
into this now.
it was never bad. It was just more like I don't know
It
if I
was-
care about this character
Well, I think we felt like it moved really slow because we had just got finished watching
yet. Kaijo.
Kaijo
Kaijo
and
went
then,
real
and then
fast.
we watched Yuri on Ice, which
Mhm.
was slower paced, and then we were like, okay, this is good.
Mm.
So
This is something that we're going to talk about down the road for another segment for me. But the reason why I watched all of those shows though was because of the song intro became my favorite song at the time. So we watched Dragon Maid because the song intros popped up on Facebook, and I was like, "What the fuck is this anime? I need to watch it now."
yeah,
It is such a great song.
and some older stuff I just love is Tenchi Moyo.
Okay.
And I
Oh,
love
yeah.
the goofy ass dub of that one. Like it's like Tenchi has like the most terriblest voice in the dub, but I kind of love it. That's like part of it. Yeah, that's like part of it.
It took me a while to get into that because of that same reason it took me a while
But
to
it
get
has
into Evangelion.
Banging intro and outro song.
Yeah,
Tenchi Moyo.
yeah.
I fucking love. We'll talk about that later. I
The
guess.
outro, I mean, yeah, but yeah, there's some really great fucking anime intros.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw out Food Wars because that's we started
yeah.
watching
Food
the
Wars, yeah.
the one scene where
Beat the juice.
yeah everyone has food and then like oh
Then
So-
hentai's out.
there is a character who if he likes a dish like it really impresses him, it causes him to lose all of his clothes and then everyone around him to lose their clothes. So
That's
it's
amazing.
like that sort of ridiculous.
Like
I-
secondhand nudity.
Yeah, it's such an over the top
Total spaghetti
thing.
hands,
And-
chef's kiss.
Yes.
So I think that's my favorite thing about anime is that it's so fucking bizarre sometimes, and it allows like some creativity that you just aren't able to see anywhere else.
Mhm.
I love that mindset.
Yeah, that was the first thing that made me think about anime, or like the to see the potential of anime is that if you are, there are a lot of stories that we can't tell, like through film or
Mhm.
through and specifically adult stories. Like, so it was the first time that I saw Akira, was the first time that I saw a super fucking adult story told in a cartoon.
Mhm.
And it
Mhm.
opens a lot of doors and a lot of potential.
I think that's something that we have been missing as a society as part of American culture
Yeah.
is being able to have adults express themselves through color and through life in a different way that
Yeah.
in the same way that children are able to express themselves.
Right.
And anime, it being a not in Japanese culture, animation is for everyone.
Right.
Having their work come to us, I think it actually has benefited American culture in a way that we've been able to express ourselves.
Not like those fucking video games.
Not like them fucking video games at all. All right, well, guys, that was a pretty
That
good
was-
one.
that was
Hutch.
good.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Good job to everyone.
Good job, everybody.
Congratulations.
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 No, we're not doing this.